A review, Environmental Station Alpha Stream Part 7. I have here today with me Nick. Say hi, Nick.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
And Jake couldn't make it today. Some family stuff going on. So today we are moving into the Endgame. And I'm a little nervous about today because this is, up until now, it's been things that I have done before. And so, do it twice, you feel pretty confident. We're moving out of that realm of where we're at. So we have a little bit of an echo. Is it on your side, Nick?
A little bit of an echo. Is it on your side, Nick?
Oh, I got it.
No, that's on your side.
There we go. All right. Well, sorry about that little technical problem there.
All right, we're good.
Let's get this going. All right, so at this point, we are going to follow clues that we have received throughout the game. I believe that I don't remember where it's at. There's a computer that tells you where, or that gives you kind of hints. Let's go ahead and see if we can find that again.
So what did I miss last week? Did we? How is the station not all exploded?
Well, the game doesn't continue from when the station explodes. After you beat the game once, it just restores you back to the same, or to the previous save point that you used.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So last week we collected all of these data discs. You'll see that they're all grayed out now, and those data discs are what give us hints on where to go next. And I have completely forgotten where the computer is. Ah, there it is right there. So we're going to go ahead and teleport to this teleporter here. We're going to take a look at those first. I do have a guide with me just in the interest of time to try and not have this stream go on for another 5 or 6 weeks.
I think everybody's okay with that.
Yeah, I think it's a compromise that is kind of necessary. I love this game and I don't mind spending a lot of time on it, but there are other games I want to show. So.
Wow, they're straight up space invaders.
All right, so this is the computer that shows all the discs that we have, and these discs give us some hints on where to find secrets. So as you can see, they're mostly just pictures of the different areas.
Oh, that's kind of cool. It's like in, I don't know what games do it, like Red Dead Redemption, where they give you a little picture and you have to go find treasure, except it's a side-scroller doing it.
Yeah, I think a lot of these discs are just pictures of the areas, but the last 2 discs give you a little bit of hints on where to find some of the keys. So as you can see, this one has hints on the 4 pillars, which we're going to be setting up. You see that 1, 2, 3, 4 there, and then this shows kind of hints on where to find the unlocks for those pillars. Since we have a guide, we have an exact location scrawled out for us. But this is what
super cryptic.
Yeah, it is. Which is one of the reasons why I am using a guide. It's fun. It's a lot of fun to decipher this yourself. But this is the in-game hints. This game kind of turns into La Mulana at this phase of the game. Which, if you like that thing, it's great. If you don't, then you can get another ending without. It is a little bit better than the original ending if you aren't satisfied with everybody dying in the original ending.
Well, who wouldn't be satisfied with that?
I personally am fine with it. I think it's normal sci-fi, especially when you have what look like Lovecraftian horrors involved. All right, so this guide gives us the locations in a grid-like pattern. So the first one is going to be 14.8. I can't remember which one is which. So okay, I think where we need to be is right here. It's either here or a different place. So, or I don't know if I'm looking at the X or the Y axis. So
I mean, there would make sense considering it's still playing.
Yeah. Let me try over here real quick. Okay, well, one of them would have to be right here if that is the correct one. So we're going to try that one first because there's a thing up here that we haven't explored yet. I've actually been curious about this since we started this again because I don't remember what was up here. So we're going to pretend this is the right way. Oh, apparently I can't hurt those.
Not with that attitude.
So remember when I was talking about how the grappling hook is no longer
You're literally never going to use it again.
There are some instances where it's not bad. I think this is the one we need to get to, but we need to change the blocks real quick. So let's go ahead and do that. One feature that I think every Metroidvania should have that this game does not is... Yeah, I think this actually tells us what it is, unlocker. It needs to have a way to mark the map in-game.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to take off points if your game doesn't have that, because you can always make your own physical maps, but it's just a nice little convenience that I recommend every game have.
That's actually one thing that Metal Gear Survive had that was probably the best I've seen of that system, because there were like 30 different stamps you could use, and they were really detailed. Got the rest of that game was a hot mess. Wow, that guy does not like you.
No, I don't remember if you get anything for beating that guy. Right now I'm just trying to find my way back to a teleporter because I need to change those green blocks, and I believe that's in the water area. Anyway, there's a teleport by the ship over here, so we'll go do that real quick. A little bit nervous about this session because the thing that's coming up, and hopefully won't be the end of the session, but it very well may be, is the infamous spike maze, which you'll know exactly what that is. If you've been tuning into the channel early every week, you'll notice that we have basically done that spike maze every week as a practice.
So he's got it down. He's like a master.
Yeah, I'm going to do it first try. It's going to be amazing.
Speedrun.
I've actually only made it halfway through during my practices sessions, so we're going to see what happens here.
Yeah, stuff like that is all about slowly building up timing and muscle memory, so...
Yeah, once you get it done once, it's not too hard to duplicate. You can do the spike maze right away. Alright, that's pillar 4. It's interesting that the guide takes us to pillar 4 first. Alright, let's see. Alright, so we're going to do 20 across. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's about this area. I think it's right here because that doesn't seem right. 14 and 8. So this is 14, 8. So we should be able to, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so it should be right here. That doesn't look like it's anything. I may be reading this wrong. That might be a problem.
Got you to the first one.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is 14, 8. It says it's 2010, so... Yeah, so it should be right there. Alright, let's give it a shot.
You're catching flack on the stream for using a guide.
It is a lot of fun. And hey, Zosta, if you can help me out, that would be fantastic. I love the shield that I have.
You've been challenged to do the spike maze without the dash booster.
Is that even possible? I don't know if it is.
Supposedly. I mean, considering that people can do all sorts of crazy stuff, like beat the first Mario in like 6 minutes or whatever, I wouldn't put anything past anybody.
I think one of the most amazing things to watch is speedruns of Super Metroid. I'm just tanking through all the damage as I'm going through this. I probably shouldn't do that. We're not really to the hard parts yet, though, so... Some of the Super Metroid tricks that you can pull off, I have no idea how you get good at that. I've tried it when we did the Super Metroid randomizer that one time.
Yeah.
And like the one that's hardest for me, and I'm sure that if I practice it, it wouldn't be that big a deal. It's the turning into a ball in the air and doing that without completely losing your what direction you're going.
No, yeah, your momentum.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a better way of putting that. Alright. We said it was right here, right?
Between the two pipes, I thought is what it said.
Let's see. Yeah, mock balls. I'm embarrassed to say that I've never, like, 100% one of those really... Like, I haven't 100% zero mission or anything. Come on.
The closest I've ever come to speedrunning anything is individual Mario Maker levels.
Yeah, those can get pretty insane. Is the other... You mean speedrunning, Zostus? Is this where the pillar terminal is? Is it like through this wall or something? Because this doesn't seem right. Let's try this one more time here.
Alright, let's see if I can help. Hold on.
I must be really miscounting these because this doesn't seem right at all. I mean, it could be right here. That would make sense. So this is the disc. We did this last week. We're looking for the terminal that opens up the pillar right now. So as you can see, even with a guide, this part,
wow, this is really involved.
like what starts out as a pretty dexterity-based action game suddenly becomes incredibly cerebral.
I mean, that's kind of fun.
Yeah,
Change up the pace of things in post-game.
I think it's fantastic. And because it's optional, you can't really be like, oh man, we just got a whole different game here. Alright, we're going to actually use the diskette hints to try and figure this one out, because I am not getting where this guide is telling us to go. I'm going to guess that it's in this area that I didn't really explore. So actually, let's do that. Let's see.
Saying that there's something in that room that you were just in.
Is that where it is?
Yeah, I think it's back. You gotta go back.
Okay. Oh, stupid elevator. I don't need you anymore. I can fly.
Pink elevator. Yeah, I think he's saying in here.
I actually wasn't planning on using that. Is it up here?
Through the acid in that room, one to the right.
Okay. They like making you do that. Let's do it. Doesn't seem like that's it. Maybe it's this room? Top left of the asset area. Ah, there we go.
How would you ever find that?
Those discs tell you where it is.
I guess.
Alright, so that's pillar 2. Is this the one that... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, well, that was it. Cool. So I just completely miscounted, apparently. Alright, so this is where the next one is, which is down by the boot. And there's a teleporter right here that I think may be the best teleporter. No, I'm going to guess it's going to be this teleporter, so let's go ahead and do that.
You're saying remember that the map starts at 0, 0 in the top left.
Ah, okay, so that may be why I'm... I have to figure my way out of here. No, that's not it. We can't go out the way we came, because that's a one-way block. So there's got to be another one-way block out of here. There we go. Alright, where are we at? The teleport right to the right. Teleport back to our handy-dandy save room so I can get my hit points back. This is going to be the most visited teleporter in the game. It's one of the reasons why I think every teleporter should also be a save point, just because, you know, if you can teleport to any save point, then...
Yeah, it's just a convenience thing.
Although this game does lock you out of that for a short period of time if you don't know the trick with the grappling hook, so it does sort of serve a purpose in this game. Although you may argue that it's just not very nice of the game to lock you out in the first place, which is, you know, whatever you want to say.
It's a design decision.
At least it serves a purpose. I played a few other games where it's not quite as... there isn't any reason for it. Alright, so we're looking for right here. Let's try going down first and see if we can get in from the top. Yes, actually taking screenshots of the disc rooms is a very good idea. Highly recommended. Okay, it doesn't look like there's any entryway down here. Hey, it's Denzo. Yeah, getting confused with the... so there are, I think, 3 different scavenger hunts in this game, and this is the first of the 3. And getting them confused is pretty easy. Like, I did the key quest, which we're going to do after this, first. Alright, we're going to go... Let's see. So we either get in from this side or we get in from this side. I'm going to guess we're going to get in from this side. Try going up here and see what happens.
Nah, we're working our way to the spike maze.
Yes, we will be doing the spike maze at some point today because this is not going to take that long. And if we make it through the spike maze, when we make it through the spike maze, I am determined to do that today.
Alright, so the blank area next to an L-shaped room near the top of the blue area.
Yes, I think it's right here. L-shaped room, though?
Yeah, L-shaped room near the top of the blue area. Next to it. The blank area.
These darn rocks.
think when the animals hear you coming now, they're like, oh no.
Speaking of the animals, I just finished Metroid Fusion this week for the review next week, and it's really interesting. Have you played that one, Nick?
Was that the remake, the official remake that Nintendo made?
No, that is actually the sequel to Super Metroid, and I think it did a very good job being a sequel to Super Metroid. Oops. Here we go. This is where we gotta get in.
I don't think I ever played Fusion. Was that... Wait. What console was that on? Was that on a hand console?
Yeah, Game Boy Advance. So, I really like the story I don't know if I'm the only one who loves Metroid for its story, but as far as taking a sci-fi story that had been built up to that point and making a sequel to it, I think it's ingenious. Let's see. Let's figure out what the next one is, and then I'll continue. The hard thing is...
the one... There's like spooky elements. It's almost like creepy in places. I mean, I guess that's always kind of been an element of Metroid, but...
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've already been here. Oh. So it's actually right here. It's actually really close to the other one. Yeah, it has... its main thing is being kind of a horror game. Like, it's sort of like if you took Metroid and Resident Evil 3 Nemesis and made it into a game. Really interesting concept. So I don't know if you know the whole story of Metroid, but in Metroid 2, the entire premise is that they've decided that the Metroids are too dangerous, and so they send Samus off to go kill them all. And then Super Metroid is about at the end of the game, she kind of feels bad for the last Metroid because it just barely hatched when she comes across it. So instead of destroying it, she takes it back to the Federation to do research on it and put it in the right hands.
That's actually super messed up. She kills every single one but one.
Right, she does. Yeah, and actually that's one of my favorite things about Metroid 2 is that the Metroids are kind of innocent. And she basically commits xenocide.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up.
So from a sci-fi standpoint, it's a really interesting topic of discussion, and I really find the ending to Metroid 2 really haunting. Because it's essentially a game about murder, and at the very end, either out of guilt or, out of utilitarian, hey, we could probably use this, let's not go ahead and throw the baby out with the bathwater.
And the bathwater is the dead bodies of all of its friends.
Of all its friends. Right. It's sort of like if nuclear bombs were living, is kind of what the plot of Metroid is. These Metroids have this energy in them that can be harvested for powerful weaponry.
Oh, is that why they wanted to destroy them all? I always thought it was just because they were like big space leeches.
Because they're big space what?
Leeches?
No, the pirates in the first game captured the Metroids and were basically threatening to use them as a weapon of mass destruction.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
So like many Japanese games, it's essentially about the nuclear bomb.
Everything goes back to the nuke.
Right, well, I mean, it's a culture that was heavily affected by that, so it's interesting.
True.
Alright, need to figure out how to get into this room. Technically, I was supposed to figure this out when we did the original ending, but for some reason I just cannot remember how to get in here. The story of how the super rot. We've unlocked 3 of the pillars. We're actually... Oh, is it from up... Wait. This area is from up by your ship. Oh! You know what? I should have realized that. We should have done this the first time when we beat the last boss, because that's technically how you get in there without using the cheaty go through the floor thing. I actually think there's another boss that we haven't fought in this area, so that'll be exciting.
He says that's not where the pillar is, though.
It isn't? Well, let's go explore anyway. We'll get that map percentage up.
Apparently you skipped the boss.
Yeah, I think I did. That's what happens when I find a sequence break during my main playthrough.
Keep using it.
Yeah. Alright, this is the first,
It's a comically large computer.
yeah. I'm actually kind of glad that we didn't do this the first time through, because this looks like it would have been hard without being able to fly. So anyway, oh, can you actually kill this thing? I think you have to get underneath it. There we go.
Pop.
So the other disc isn't right in this area? Okay, so this is where one of them was. And according to my guide... Oh, it's 3 over. I think it's in this area. Left of the blue L shape. So in this area.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well that makes sense.
So right there.
Alright, well this is the area that I skipped on my first playthrough through the boss. Obviously this is way easier than if I had done it the right way the first time. Did that not open that door? Alright, whoop. Man, this would have been nuts. You have to grapple your way through this.
Yeah, that's
I'm
not
probably
be a good
gonna die.
time. Jeez. Getting savage.
Okay, so what did that do? Let's get out of here, and then I'll continue my thoughts about Super Metroid. Okay, well, we'll come back to this later. Oh, there's a healing thing right up there.
Wah, wah.
Alright, I apologize. We'll come back to that. We're focusing on the pillars right now. My graceful tanking through all the damage strategy here. I wonder if we would have actually been able to beat the game that session that we did if I had gone through that, like timing wise.
What, gotten that down?
Yeah, I would have had to actually get good at that instead of, well, I just died, so it's not like it's... Oh, this is exactly where we want to be anyway. Alright. Good hint, Zostas. I should have thought of that. So anyway, Super Metroid, like 5 minutes after Samus drops off the Metroid with the Federation researchers, the pirates break in and take it.
Federation's kind of useless.
Yeah, they kind of are. Okay, this is a pretty obvious secret area. So anyway, Ridley grabs the Metroid and it kicks off the rest of the game, where you have to go find Ridley and the Metroid. Alright, we've gotten all the pillars now, so now it is time for the spike maze.
I believe in you.
Oh my gosh. We're ready for this. I have been training day and night. You know what? We're gonna go through that area anyway, just to complete it and save it. So hopefully I don't die again.
So I'm guessing 30 is max health.
Yep, 30 is the max. Oh, come on. Really taking unnecessary damage here. Okay, so So that just shortcuts you back in case you wanted to leave this place. So anyway, you've killed off all of the Metroids on SR388, their homeworld. And then at the beginning of Metroid Fusion, you visit the Metroid homeworld with a bunch of researchers just under the command of the Federation. And it turns out that there was a kind of a living virus that mimics other creatures that lived on SR388. So you said we can just... What have I done? Okay, there we go. Perfect. You visit SR388, and it turns out that there was this virus that the Metroids ate. Oh, this is the boss that we missed.
Oh, yeah. Dragon Ball. Transport pod.
I apologize for not showing off maybe some of that boss's patterns.
He's like, finally, my time for revenges. Ah!
What did the Automod do? I'm sure that's going to be recorded on YouTube one way or another. Let's see. Alright, so we want to go to the dash maze, which I believe is... Where's the dash maze? Oh, gotcha. That's funny. Always funny what the Automod decides to get rid of. I don't remember where the dash maze is. I think it's down in this area. No, it's over here. That's right.
Is that the water area?
Yeah, it's over the water area. So if you're playing this game just the regular Metroidvania style, where you see places that you can go based off of new ability upgrades that you got, it's possible that you would have entered this before doing the 4 pillars. And if you do that, then congratulations, you get to do that maze twice.
Oof.
Come on.
Earthquakes, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be reading those now. I apologize. We'll read them going forward. This is the spike maze, right? I don't remember what we do with the sun and moon thing. Let's see. I'm supposed to stay under the symbol that doesn't exist. There's no moon. There we go.
Oh, wow. Snaky, snaky.
Alright, and then, oops, darn it, I've just messed this up. Let's go back down. Okay, so on this part, you can actually go to your status screen. Let's see, where is the key card? Is this it?
You're so chubby.
I forget how you turn it off. There we go. You push down to turn it off. I think that's the one we want. So these yellow blocks just disappear as you get... Oh my gosh. Okay, so it wasn't the key card.
You're a master.
Oh my gosh. So anyway, the trick there is those yellow blocks just automatically disappear when you get near them. And so what you want to do is you want to turn off the ability that makes the yellow blocks disappear, then you can get through that maze. Which I think is clever.
Yeah.
So anyway, Metroid Fusion. There's a virus that the Metroids used to eat, and now it's taken over the planet SR388 and is now a dominant species. Wow, interesting. Kind of a natural consequence.
Commit xenocide because there might be unforeseen consequences.
Right. Which I think is fantastic that they went that route. Supercharged module, triple shot, rough map. I'm just gonna turn off anything that sounds like a You know, I'm just gonna turn everything off. There. Okay. And here we are. If anybody is tuned into my sound tests, this area should look familiar because this is how I've started off every sound test. All right, take a deep breath. Here we go.
First run. You're gonna do it.
All right. I doubt it. It also plays this like epic music. Anyway, the reason why it's called Metroid Fusion is because I probably shouldn't talk while I'm trying to get through this. The virus infects Samus, and they have to inject her with cells from a Metroid in order to save her life, because Metroid is the natural enemy of that virus. And so she is now fused with the baby Metroid from Metroid 2.
I don't think that's how viruses work.
Well, these viruses can turn into like full-formed creatures.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it like it turns into like a dark version of you and then hunts you through the station?
Yes, and that's where the Nemesis part comes in. And so the entire game is basically you trying to power up to what you used to be as you face off with basically your duplicate. Okay, we're going to stop talking. We're going to try and get this. Yeah, first try every time. All right, take one. All right.
Do you want me to scream jump at you every time you need to jump?
Well, with the Twitch lag, I don't know if you're going to get it on time every time.
Yeah, I'll probably be off.
Let's see. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't die just then. All right, we got this. Okay, fall down a little bit further. It's funny because when I did my sound test earlier today, I got that part in the first try. So there's a little bit of performance anxiety, I think, going on right now.
That's definitely the case.
Yeah. I'm cutting that part way too close.
I mean, it looks like they obviously made this so it would be possible with the hook shot. Maybe?
I don't know, because, like, see that red stuff right there?
Like how would you do that here?
Like, I feel like, well, I mean, maybe if you fell straight down that. Okay.
Watch.
Yeah. We're going to get all the way to the end of the maze and die. And I apologize if I'm not responding to your comments in a timely manner. Alright, just gotta get to my Zen place. It's a nightmare that I've come to accept that this may be the rest of the stream, folks.
Like 40 minutes. It just means you have 40 minutes to beat this.
I would like to not think of it that way. So last week, Nick, we were talking about what the best game ever was and what the worst game ever was and the problems with trying to assign games that way, especially now that there are thousands of good games for you to try.
It's not that hard. Obviously, RimWorld is the best game ever.
Obviously.
We can all agree to that. Yeah, I mean, so much of whether a game is good or not depends on your own personal preferences, so...
So, that's the most common, like, when I was talking to Jake last week, I feel like that's like the how's the weather in your area question of gaming, like what's your game of all time type thing.
Yeah.
And I was saying it's pretty common for me to hear what's your favorite Metroidvania, what's your least favorite Metroidvania. And it's not that I hate the question, it's just that I feel like the premise is a little bit flawed.
I think it's used as a way to figure out somebody's tastes. It's not necessarily a way to discover the greatest game of all time.
Right. And yeah, I definitely understand that aspect of it. So anyway, we talked about that for a little bit, and my favorite Metroidvania is, of course, Super Metroid, Hollow Knight, La Mulana, are the three that I like to list. I feel like those are the top of their game in what they do best. And obviously, Environmental Station Alpha is pretty high up there. I mean, it was what I picked as my first backup stream when Hollow Knight didn't work out. But, so, Nick, what are your favorite games?
Well, I mentioned RimWorld. I tend to like creativity-based games, so yes, I've played a ton of Minecraft. But yeah, it seems like right now it's mostly games like RimWorld, which fortunately I have a ton of options because Sims have become kind of a indie favorite, and you've got everything from Prison Architect to RimWorld to, I don't know. There's one where you make space stations, so I've got plenty of things to choose from.
So,
the other thing,
the past week, I've been working from home, like a lot of people have been lately, and working from home has a lot of lag on my work servers. All right, we made it past the first hard part. Now we have to get through this without taking too much damage. Oh my gosh. So I went on Reddit and was asking about incremental games that I could have running in the background while I'm waiting for... That's why I was playing Idle Class yesterday. And RimWorld was recommended. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just did that.
Actually, yeah, RimWorld would make a great kind of in the background, because as soon as something happens, like something bad that you need to pay attention to immediately, the game pauses.
I'm actually not sure if I have allowed links in this chat. You could give it a shot. See what happens. So you're saying that was a good suggestion on Reddit's part?
Yeah, I think so.
They also
you can set the speed. I mean, you wouldn't set speed to ultra fast. It's kind of like it would be a good option, similarly to like a city builder game, which is something else I like.
Patience. Yeah, the other one that was recommended was, what's that really popular city builder that's kind of the de facto city builder right now? Skylines, that's what it is. City Skylines.
Yep. Yeah, that'd be another good one. But I mean, I think RimWorld would probably be better. Although you kind of have to get used to playing the game first before you can play it without paying attention.
That's what they were saying, is that it takes like an hour investment or so to really get it down. I mean, master at this first section by the time we're done here.
This is often the case. Which, by the way, this is the kind of thing that drives me insane, where you have to repeat a challenge over and over and over and over with multiple stages.
Well,
that's the challenge, but still.
Right. Yeah, you would hate Rabbit's Quest.
Oh, yeah. I mean, imagine if you had to do, like, White Palace all in one run.
Rabbit's Quest is a
lot shorter.
Rabbit's Quest is a lot easier than this. The thing about White Palace and what Rabbit's Quest does is that both of those still allow you to use your hit points to kind of tank your way through it. Like in Rabbit's Quest, there's never an instance where you have instant death.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's
White Palace was pretty much the only time I equipped the charm that turned your health into the honeycombs, so you could take 2 hits that would recharge, and you could basically use that to cheese the whole area.
I need to stop overcompensating on that part. I need to allow myself to fall. Don't be afraid of the spikes beneath. You can fly. Yeah, that is straight up the best strategy for that area. So I don't know. I think the Path of Pain was added after I played Hollow Knight. Was doing well that time.
You were doing well until you died.
Yeah. I have a new strategy. Don't die.
That's a pro tip.
Also, don't say things like that right before you die. Oh, gosh. Okay. First try, 2012.
It's only the first try when you succeed.
The best part about this is I think this is like maybe 30 or 40 seconds long. Also, I'm noticing that those enemies aren't spawning. And I'm wondering if I'm doing something wrong. I think what the difference is the on my main file, or my original file, I collected keys that, so you have to visit the surface twice. So guess what? We get to do this twice. The first time you do it, as long as you have the 4 pillars, which I really hope I do. Let me make sure I didn't die after one of those pillars before I... So we have that one. Where's the other one? We got that one. I think we got them all. We're just going to go for it, assuming we didn't. If not, then I will off-screen do this again.
You know what this is? This is just fancy Flappy Bird.
That's a hilarious comparison. But maybe not inaccurate. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So you do have to come through this again, and I think that those guys that appear... I think I've collected all 4 of the keys on my first playthrough before I came here. Because those are... I accidentally ran across one, and... I don't know. That's just kind of what I originally did. So I guess we're not completely into uncharted territory as far as what I've played so far.
Man, I got so good at nail bounces. It was like nail bounce kick.
It's one of my favorite things about Hollow Knight is advanced techniques. I like advanced techniques in any game that has them.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, anytime you can increase the height of the skill ceiling.
I love wall jumping in Metroid games. So tell us about Enter the Gungeon, Nick. How many hours do you have on that game?
Over 200.
Over 200.
Oh no, wait, no, RimWorld is over 200. Enter the Gungeon is like 140. I've played a lot of Enter the Gungeon. You know that meme where there's an interviewer interviewing a cat, and they always ask like, so you played a bunch of this game? And then the next panel is, so you must be good at it. And then the cat starts crying. That's me and Enter the Gungeon.
That's me in the spike maze. How many hours have I put into this? I swear in Rabbit's Quest, it took me 4 hours to beat the final boss. Like, not the...
Yeah, I don't have that in me. That would break me.
It felt so good when I was done with it. Oh my gosh. And this is going to feel really good when I'm done with this, especially doing it live for the first time. This would be... I have not been completely successful on this before, so this is new territory for me.
We're going to capture a first. Maybe.
I really hope it doesn't get to the point where...
We're doing this all next Saturday.
Oh my gosh. I swear if that happens, then I'll probably, like, just post to YouTube my playthrough. Where I got it, because... we can only keep up the conversation during this for so long.
That does not make for compelling television.
Right. It's sections like this are the reason why I like to have you or Jake along so we can keep a conversation going.
I was gonna just awkwardly pause there, but decided not to. Alright, here we go. I can hear your frustrated reaction before you actually die on my screen.
So I call it when I'm talking to my wife while I'm playing. My phrase that I like to use when I've just had enough. And by the way, if you've ever had enough, it's okay to take a break.
Twitter talk.
Just make sure you know when you've actually had enough. All right.
Usually it's when I start dying earlier and earlier in an area that I had down.
That's actually a good indicator. Yeah, like when you're making mistakes earlier in the fight, then it's good to... So your brain is an interesting thing. When you sleep, it solves problems. So it's a good idea to just take a rest break, and when you wake up, you'll suddenly... I can't believe I just did that. When you wake up, you'll be better at the game because when your brain goes through its defrag process while you're sleeping, you may find that you can put the pieces together better after the rest. You are only human.
Oh my gosh, the third Coliseum fight in Hollow Knight drove me insane. I'm surprised I didn't crack my controller.
The funny thing about the Rabbit's Quest final boss, though, is that it's completely optional. And I didn't do this spike maze the first time I played the game. And my main rule when I review a game is that I just see an ending credits. And once I hit that point, I have to make a judgment call. How much do I like this game? Am I willing to go through all the content? Do I want to go through all the content? And do I have enough time to go through all the content? And with Environmental Station Alpha, it came down to a time issue. I definitely wanted to see everything else this game had to offer.
But you didn't have the 6 weeks it would take to get through this spike rim?
Right. How many weeks have we been streaming this? Honestly, I probably did. I don't remember why. I think it was that I had gotten a request from a developer on the next game I should review, and I just had to switch gears. And once I switched gears, that was it. So,
it's always hard to go back to something.
As the Metroid review gets more popular, I've been getting more Steam keys, and I've actually missed out on a few just because I couldn't get to them on time. But I also think it's important that I spend as much time as I need to with these games in order to make a proper assessment. So anyway,
yeah, for sure.
Time issues.
Well, that's one of the biggest critiques of professional reviewers is that they don't spend the time they need to actually get a feel for a game. Right.
And I don't know if there's any game where the post-game is what changed my mind about the game. Like, there are some games where it's just like, I think there might be a secret ending to this game, but I am the only person who's ever played this game, and I didn't like it enough to take the, 5 extra hours to figure out where it is myself. And I don't think that finding a secret ending is going to change my overall opinion on this game, so I just didn't.
You've played Metroidvanias where there's literally no guides online?
Oh, I play a lot that are like that, especially if I play a game on release. I don't have that option.
Well.
One exception to this was La Mulana 2. the community was just all over that game, and there were guides within 3 days. And that is my confession that I did use a guide for a couple of parts in La Mulana 2. I don't like using guides where I can avoid it, but occasionally, you know, it's just like, okay, I spent 45 minutes trying to get through this without the guide. I don't think I should be ashamed that
No. I mean, it's always a balance.
Okay.
Woof.
Okay. So you have your double jump, right? And you can kind of use that to kind of inch yourself around. I was trying to save my double jump there. I just wasted
You don't need your second jump if you're dead.
Problem solved. Anyway, Rabbit's Quest. The funny thing about Rabbit's Quest, that 4-hour final boss, was that I had already gotten the main ending. It was kind of like this game where at least... Like this game, I don't know what just happened there. This game, the end game, I don't think is 50-50. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. It depends on how long it takes you. All right, I take it back. If you're measuring it based off of time, the end game in this game is definitely like 70-80% of the game. But if you measure it based off of how long it would take you to do if you actually knew what you're doing,
Far less.
Far less. I would say it's about maybe 20 to 30% of the game.
I mean, that's still a very significant amount of game to have as post-game content.
Right. In the case of Rabbit's Quest, I would say that at least 50% of the game is after you get the main credits. And that is when the game gets really difficult. The developer, so I called it the good ending when I was talking to the developer on Reddit. And he doesn't like to think of either ending as a bad ending or a good ending. But when I got to that final boss, so I had already gotten the credits, so I could have, under my own rules, just said, okay, this game is great, I enjoyed it, let's give it a score and review it. But in spite of the developer kind of really trying to push that game on Reddit, nobody really played it, and it's free. I don't understand. Well, it's not free. I mean, you can donate to help it out, and I recommend doing that. But you can get it for free if you want to just try it. And I don't understand.
You would think more people would have given it a shot.
Right. That's one of the reasons why I reviewed it. Is like he contacted me directly and said, "Hey, why don't you take a look at this game?" And I'm like, "Sure, why not?" And it's definitely niche. But I love that game. It's great. I don't think I would ever stream that game.
Just because it's the same area over and over?
No, well, I mean, we're doing it right now, where you just have to try again. But anyway, I was, 3 hours into that final boss, and I'm like, well, technically I gotta quit right now. I was like, no, I have to see what happens in this ending. I really wish that I had my recording stuff set up, because I think that would be a really good game to post a Let's Play for, just to show people what it's about. I think there might be a few YouTubers that have done it, but...
If you're the first, you might go viral.
Might go viral.
Alright, this is it. I got a good feeling about this.
I hope you're right.
Kill those trash cans.
Bye-bye, trash can.
Alright, here we go.
I'm feeling better after that time, though.
Yeah, you got a little further. The question is, how much further does it go after that?
That's the last room.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Nice.
Obviously, the mastery of this spike maze is way longer than it actually is. Like I said, this whole section, probably about 30 seconds. Once you've gotten good. much better at that first area.
What do you actually get for completing this?
An ending and
okay.
continuation. So you get one ending. So there's three endings we're actually going to look at. I don't know if we're going to look at the last ending. There's technically 4 endings in the game. I'll have to... The fourth ending is like really obscure. Okay, so here is the hardest part. What? What?
Oof.
Oh!
So is that it? Did you just do it?
I just did it.
Oh man!
Let's just
what is that?
try not to die at this part. I should have looked at what this thing says beforehand.
First try.
First try. How many minutes was that? Was that like 30 minutes?
It's a long first try.
Oh, this one has a lot to say. Jacob was trying to remind me last week that I was supposed to read terminals. It's like, why aren't you reading it, Darren? Alright, I'm going to go left because I know there's a save point over there. First, and then we're going to...
Oh, so it's not like instant ending, there's like a boss or something?
Alright, got the save point. So here's the ending. You see the station in the background? I always thought that was a nice touch.
Oh, yeah.
I have YouTubed this before, so that's why I know what's going to happen. Unable to recognize this area. No energy sources nearby. Is it trying to destroy me? Starve me out? Does it not know that I'll stay functional as long as it does? But perhaps it is trying to sacrifice itself. Useless. Eventually it will shut down, but I will endure on its databanks. And one day a source of energy will approach it. I can wait.
You should jump into lava.
That is maybe the best way to to solve the problem.
Pull a Terminator 2.
The explorer never returned. The expedition was considered unsuccessful, and the station has left to drift on its own. Perhaps it will be found someday. And that's it.
That's not a happy ending. That's just a less sad ending.
It's a one person dies instead of everybody dies ending. Yes, there's another secret area that we may have some time to look at today. Zalsis is correct. There's
not an ending where he's like, you did it, you saved the station, and then he has to picnic on the station and all the animals come and hang out with him.
Right. Save the animals. There is going to be an Environmental Station Alpha 2, and the fact that it's called Environmental Station Alpha 2 suggests that that you will be returning to the station. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes and whether or not he'll put it in a happy ending. I'm going to guess no. This game kind of follows the sci-fi / Lovecraft philosophy of, you know, not everything has to be a happy ending. 100% completion. 5 hours and 24 minutes. I think we were at 3:30 when we beat the game the first time, so...
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense.
Alright, well, we have a little bit of time left, so let's go ahead and see if we can end us off with a hopeful victory. We'll see how this turns out. Alright, so all these pillars, if you did not activate them before you came here, then congratulations, you got yourself the second ending, but you can't proceed. But now that we have the 4 pillars, we get to fight this guy.
Oh, he looks like a nice guy.
It looks like, so this is my first time fighting him, and I have actually not watched like a full fight of this, so I have no idea what I'm doing.
Kind of bullet hell-like.
Oh
Probably not a good sign.
I'm gonna guess that the pink means instant death. So I think if you translate his name is Mkay.
Truly intimidating.
Yeah. Watch out for the dark spirit Mkay. That thing looks very, oof.
Oh!
Okay, pink is definitely not instant death.
Oh, no, but it's 4 damage, which will chew you up in a hurry. These are only doing 2.
Mwah is his name.
You went from went from about 20 health to 0 health in about 15 seconds.
Yeah, this is a definitely endgame fight. Okay, well, he's glowing like that, he doesn't get hurt, so it's good to know. So you get 1 hit in after each volley. Alright, the trick is I really need to avoid damage during those blue sections, because so he kind of waits for you to deal damage to him, so I think it's pretty safe to just focus on dodging at this part.
These evil Tic Tacs.
I think the way how much you have to dodge in this fight is very much pre-scripted. You can't just damage tank him through, it looks like.
That seems to be the boss design that he goes with when he wants bosses to be challenging. He pretty much did the same thing for the final boss, too.
Kind of. I mean, the final boss, I feel like once you get the pattern down, you can kind of train his... Oh gosh. Alright, those sparks don't hurt me, so I need to not mentally take them out of my mind as something I need to dodge. Okay, this is different.
Oh, jeez.
I like this boss. This is a cool boss.
Yeah.
I like that there's a save point literally 2 steps away from him, too.
Well, yeah, that would be...
Could you imagine if you had to go through the spike maze every time?
Oh, that would be just... Okay, well, I'm not doing this.
So I was talking about Rabbit's Quest, kind of comparing game difficulties. It kind of divides its challenges into 2 segments. It's basically like the spike maze, except that's the entire game. And it's not instant death. I think that's a key point to make. But every boss has like a save point right before it. But leading up to the boss is like the spike maze, where it's kind of a challenge unto itself. I don't know, maybe I will stream Rabbit's Quest someday. The problem with Rabbit's Quest is that I think that game is definitely at least 8 hours long. I think I accidentally hit him with my shield instead of my laser. I'm assuming that does less damage. Probably. Okay, this is the Galaxy attack. It's actually pretty easy to dodge once you know that it always follows that circle pattern.
Denso suggests Super Gear Request.
Oh, I need to play that. Streaming that one, that game's at least 20 hours long, right? I'm not like against doing a longer stream like that, but there's so many games I want to show off. I'd like to try and get some of the shorter games that I want to show off.
Dead Cells.
Oh goodness. I could do Dead Cells. That is probably the most controversial game when it comes to identifying as a Metroidvania, though.
Well, anytime you hybridize 2 genres, you're going to end up with a bunch of controversy.
Right. Well, arguably, it doesn't even do that. And, I mean, it's up to you whether or not you want to count it or not. But Dead Cells is practically a trigger word for the Metroidvania subreddit.
I like certain roguelikes. Like, Enter the Gungeon is a roguelike, and as I have established earlier, I have played that a ton. However, like, Rogue Legacy, I had no patience for whatsoever. So I really don't know what...
That's really interesting to me because Rogue Legacy is like the most casual...
Yeah, I just didn't... Something about the gameplay loop just didn't appeal to me. I mean, it's also possible that Enter the Gungeon is top-down and it's primarily, ranged weapon based, whereas Rogue Legacy is a more traditional side-scroller.
It's funny, I don't know where I stand on the roguelike genre because it's not really a genre that I actively play, but all of the roguelike Metroidvania games that I played, I've really enjoyed. Actually, to the point where, so it's very rare for somebody to be like, why did you give that a 4 out of 5? Why did you give that a score? But one of them was a robot named Fight. Somebody was really surprised that I would give it such a high score. And I really like Robot Night Fight. I think it's... I will admit that when I first started it, I wasn't really enjoying it, but that's kind of where my rule that I have to beat the game comes in.
Sure.
If I spend a lot of time with a game and I just never like it, obviously that's going to affect the score, but there's plenty of games that the more time I spent with it and the better I got at it, the more it became one of my favorites, and Robot Named Fight is kind of like that. But yeah, pretty much every roguelike that I've reviewed, I've really enjoyed.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting dynamic, and if you apply it to other genres, it has a lot to offer.
I think in terms of, besides dodging all these blue lasers, blue Twitter censorship items, or Twitch, for a Twitch.
Not Twitter.
That's what happens when I'm talking during a boss fight. Because I mix up completely different social media platforms.
Is Twitch a social media platform? I guess technically, yeah.
YouTube is, and I would say so. Diarrhea Christmas lights.
Just sensory overload, I'm guessing.
Are we talking like just the fact that it like uses meat everywhere? A Robot Named Fight really goes kind of for the gross out, kind of the 90s gross out type aesthetic.
Booger Man?
Kind of, but it's more like guts, you know? So that may be what Zalsis is. So I put out if you're on my Discord, I put out a straw poll today, and if you want to participate, I may put it in the description of this video once I post it. Or maybe I'll post it as a comment and then pin that comment. But I've asked what, between each major project, I'd like to do like a mini Metroidvania, or something completely different. I put Mega Man 4 on the straw poll. So if you guys would like to see me stream another Mega Man game, that's also an option.
Mega Man Legends.
That one is arguably a Metroidvania, so...
That's actually what I was thinking.
I could do that. I mean, obviously I'd have to emulate it since I don't have a recorder for my PS3, or a setup to do that.
And I remember loving that game. Granted, I haven't played it in 20 years, so... I
think I bought that game like 3 times. I love that game. it is a prime example of why Ocarina of Time was an important game for the game industry.
Oh yeah.
As far as 3D controls go, it's...
Yeah, you actually got pretty close that time. Yeah, it definitely revolutionized.
One complaint I have about Environmental Station Alpha is I wish it had a few more boss musics. I like this boss music a lot. It's just that when you get into this endgame stuff, one of the best ways you can really drive home that you're somewhere special is by changing the music.
Oh, yeah, special boss music.
Yeah. And I think this is a great song and all that, but you've heard it, however many bosses you've fought before this.
Yeah, it just kind of blends into the background at this point.
Right. Okay, I think that I do best if I get to the opposite side of the screen that he's on. Doesn't really help when he's in the middle, but if I could just dash down through the blue. I think once I've mastered that, this will be in my pocket. Alright. Focus. This boss actually seems kind of easy compared to the normal final boss. I'm gonna guess that he has another form.
They do seem to like forms. Although, he's got a lot of health for a first form.
We'll find out.
Enzo says no.
He doesn't have another form? Well, that's good to know. That makes me even more determined to get through this fight. It's a great fight, though. I like this fight. The timer in the background is a great way of telegraphing how much time you have to spend in his bullet hell room of death. "21 hit points, not too bad for this phase of the fight." Just ran right into that one. I just did it twice. The problem with using the dash...
The same one.
Yeah. The problem with using the dash in general is you go a specific distance, and if you're not really prepared to go that distance, then you're going to do exactly what I was doing. I don't know why I was suddenly trying to hit him during that phase. When you get this far into any fight, the nerves start to
just take your time.
kick in. Oh gosh. Unbelievable! You tricked me! He's still doing his attacks during this cutscene. This won't end here.
Cutting you down.
Nice.
I like he had like a perfectly smooth head.
Alright, I think this is the first of, I believe, 4 keys that we need to find.
Is every key a boss?
You have now taken one step. I don't... No, not every key is a boss. Alright, I actually don't know what I'm doing here, because I didn't entirely plan on making it this far. Oh, I skipped that too fast.
I think once we get to a save point, it's probably time to wrap up.
Yep, I think so. Let's just see if I can get to a save point without dying. Oh, that's not a good sign. Sounds like something is broken down somewhere. Calculating source of tremors based on available data. Somewhere in the lower parts of the underwater section. Which I believe is the, ooh, that's scary.
Stay away.
Oh shoot. I think this might be right where we need to be, right? Let's see, where are we? No. Alright, there's a health thing right there. Let's see if we can get through that guy. Alright, we're a little bit more safe than we would be otherwise. Let's see if we can get to our save point quickly. Alright, is there any conversations that we... Oh, so yeah, there's a straw poll that I put on the Discord. Where I've asked everyone to vote on what they would like to see me do as my short stream after Environmental Station Alpha. I think we have about 2 sessions left at this point. All right, what's the safest way to get back? Oh man, that was clutch. Alright, we're gonna go to our favorite save point. So if you want to vote on what we are going to look at for our short session, A Robot Named Fight is on there. That's why I bring it up. I also put on Weapon Hacker, which is I'm going to be reviewing in a couple of weeks. It's like A Robot Named Fight, except the controls aren't quite as clunky, and I definitely want to show it off. I think it needs some attention, so I'll probably do that at some point. But if you want to see it sooner than later, then go on the Discord and vote. I'll probably post a comment on the YouTube video for this as well, so if you check out my YouTube channel, you'll see that. Thank you very much for everyone who joined in today. I appreciate coming in the chat, and we'll see you next week.
Everybody have a good one.